Let's go over your house right now. How you guys doing tonight? I'd like to welcome you guys to our Wednesday night. We call it Worship on Wednesday. But tonight we'll be talking about ministry, media ministry 101. So before we start, I want you guys to go ahead and like us and share us. Start a party. We'll be starting shortly. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I have some amazing friends who are going to join us tonight, and we're going to have a good conversation. So before we start, again, make sure that you share us. Make sure you tag those who are interested in media ministry, because we're going to have some great conversations, and you do not want to miss out on this. We are currently live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So feel free to follow us on those platforms. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I am Associate Pastor Jessie Mack. I am the pastor over media and technology for First Pentecostal Church Chicago. And again, I'd like to welcome you guys to Live from the Living Room. I want to give honor to my pastor, our lead servant, Pastor Karen Williams, and give reverence to our Apostle Bernice Williams, as well as our assistant pastor, Josephine Taylor. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, we have some amazing guests on tonight. I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves. Again, we're going to be talking about church media ministry. And so go ahead and take it away, Tavell.
How you doing? Thank you for having me on. I am Tavell Grant, and I am from Greater First Baptist Church, where my pastor is Bishop Tavis Grant. I'm just thankful to Minister Jessie and Pastor Kay for this opportunity. I own Access Granted, and we do a plethora of things from graphics, and those are flyers, logos, to brochures, websites, videos, streaming, you name it. We're doing. I'm just thankful to have this opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Latricia London. I'm a proud servant at the First Paradise Missionary Baptist Church under the leadership of the Episcopal Vicar, Albert D. Simmons. Amen. I serve as a minister there, as well as I do a lot of our graphics and media as well. So I kind of run things there in terms of media. I'm also the owner of London Graphics and Photography. So I do graphics, photography, videography, and things of that nature within my business, print, and design.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ron.
Hey, everybody. I am Ronald Moore Jr. I'm from Indiana. My church home is Embassies of Christ, Dr. Cedric and Joyce Oliver. I just love being there. I also am co-owner of Create Agency, which is a content creation agency. Pretty much we do videos for businesses, churches, artists. Pretty much what you need, we can do it. Far as church-wise, what I do is kind of interesting because I'm a hybrid. So at the church, I edit for them, but then I also handle all their creative things like the worship arts department, big services, pretty much the creative mind for what you guys see at Embassies of Christ most of the time. So that's me.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys again for joining us. So we're gonna jump right in. So guys, as you guys can see, those of you who are watching, you have a good group of people who have some experiences. So we're gonna hopefully be able to give you guys some nuggets tonight. And have some good conversations. I'm looking forward to it. So our first question, we want to kind of talk about media ministry. So what role does the media ministry play in the church today? What is its importance?
I think its importance is very major in the sense that it's a main priority now. Churches used to really put media on the back burner, as in, we'll get to it. We may include it in the budget. We'll see about it. Maybe next year. Is there a cheaper option? That's pretty much how media ministry was handled. But I think now this pandemic has really pushed everyone to having a media ministry. You didn't have one before. You definitely need it now. So I think it's in a place of great importance. Whether you're doing it by Facebook Live, YouTube, however the case may be, whatever works for you, I think now it's churches now understand that you need it. And that if you do expect to really reach people now, you can't do it without media. You need good video, you need good sound, you need someone who's controlling it. You need someone who's actually invested in it, you need to put some time into it and some money.
Absolutely. Anybody else? You want to turn it down so we can hear that on echo. So if either of you guys are watching, and we can go ahead, Linda.
All right. I agree with Minister Tavell 10 times over. I know from a personal experience within our ministry, we lack some of the necessary things because of the cost. Now we are willing to invest in it. We have invested in a lot of equipment, a lot of hosting sites and things of that nature to ensure that our church is up and functioning as we should. Like we even play games now for Bible class to ensure that our church is engaged and that they're staying engaged and that they're not lost just listening to someone just speak to them, that they're actually being tested on what's happening within our Bible class. So investing in your ministry and investing in equipment is very necessary especially in this pandemic, because it's not looking like some of us are going back to church into Easter because how hectic the pandemic is, and some of us have older members and things of that nature, and we just want to make sure that everyone's safe. So you definitely need media. Media is needed. You can't nowhere around it. I know many churches who have called me who haven't had a live service yet. They've only been functioning via phone conference and things of that nature. So I've been just trying to coach some churches and stuff through it, but it's definitely necessary.
Absolutely. Ron, did you want to add in?
I definitely want to add in. Before the pandemic, media was necessary for, like they were saying, the reach, the communication. Also, it helps enhance the service so much more because some people are those type of people that can sit here and just listen to pastor preach, but then some people needs like a condensed version or creative element. We watch TV all day, and media, whether it's video, whether it's cool lights, amazing sound. It's this one church in LA that I love. Their pastor sometimes preaches with sensory. So he'll talk about the heart, and then you'll feel the whole room just pulsate. Boom, 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 boom. So it's like that's really cool to enhance your service. So yeah, that's what I want to put in.
I absolutely agree with everything you guys said. And so we kind of touched on this, and I'm going to just mention it. Said, how important is it for the pastor to prioritize it? So I think we've kind of touched on that. That is very important that they, also not only just prioritize it, but work closely with the media ministry. So did you guys want to add in on that particular point? That it's because some churches, they may actually give the funds, but if they're not engaged with whomever is over their media ministry, then there's a disconnection between the media ministry and the vision for the house per se. So
I think oftentimes pastors are very invested when it comes to the music ministry, knowing what songs they're singing, or perhaps their finance office. They're very engaged with those departments. I see often, but especially now, you need to be engaged with your media ministry, because more than ever, people are viewing you. And so not only are they viewing the entire service, but they're viewing your sermon. So you need to know, if these people are not Bible readers, you need to make sure they actually know how to spell, Habakkuk and Deuteronomy. When they're putting this in the lower thirds, you need to make sure that they're putting the correct sermon title up there, all these different things. So I think there has to be a relationship, so that when it comes to the outlook and the vision you have for your church, your media ministry is able to capture it, because you've had that conversation, let them know, I like this angle, I want this image in there, I want the logo right there, whatever the case may be, because there might be something that they're doing. They might be giving you, some hip hop music in the background, like it's Transformation Church, but you like, a praise break track to be in the background instead. It just so that things actually flow and give off the feeling of what you all are trying to do.
You said something where you said spelling according.
Yeah, you said something.
I can't tell you how many flyers I have seen that has, prophet misspelled, apostle misspelled. So proofreading, it's important. Go ahead, Ryan.
I was about to say, he hit it on the head. Like, the pastors have to be really involved. One thing I've noticed in a lot of ministries, their media department, it's very rare that they're tapped into ministry. They are so focused on getting stuff done that they miss out on God, being led by God. So you have moments where you have this great worship moment, or the pastor's preaching is really good, then the mics mess up, or the lights go out. So then, or they play announcements where they should be allowing people to worship. That's why it's important for pastors to be involved, just like they are with their worship. It's that important.
Yeah, one thing I can say about my pastor, when it comes to our ministry per se, when it comes to media, he is on me like white on rice. So he's checking every word, whether it's a space. And you guys, I'm degreed. I'm degreed.
Yes, you are.
I'm degreed, and he checks every space. If I got the period in the wrong space, so. Pastors definitely got to look at their stuff. Sometimes they're depending on us to make sure it's right, but I may look over something, so they may have to do a second set of eyes to make sure the spelling is correct, to make sure the asterisk is in the right spot. So got to make sure of that.
I have it's funny, when I make graphics, I have a text group literally that I just send. I don't say no message. I just drop a flyer, and it's either thumbs up or, man of God, you misspelled that word. Okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ryan.
I was about to say, also, it helps for pastors not to get to a place where they miss out on the learning curve. Media grows so fast that we'll say, okay, Facebook is popular now. In 2 years, Facebook, they have no clue about what's going on. So if you stay connected with your media team and help them teach you, you don't have to worry about 5-10 years later when you're older and you like, I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what you mean, like share and subscribe. Like, what is that? Like, stay involved in all that.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that 100%. And so many of us remember, the outreach ministry. So, remember back in the day when I was growing up, they had the outreach ministry where they'd be like, okay, we're going to meet at the church on Saturday at noon.
Go in the corner.
tracks and we're gonna go and knock on doors.
Uh-huh.
So now we are in a more digital age, and so social media / marketing is critical to a critical tool that ministries need. Do you agree with that? And if so, why?
I think, and I don't want to seem bad when I say this, but I think the new street, the new block, the new avenue to do real outreach is social media. I do believe in doing outreach in your community. I do believe in walking the blocks and all those wonderful things if you need to knock on doors. But the new place for it is social media. I even feel like if you have a church, social media should be incorporated in your outreach ministry. Because how can you really reach out if you don't reach where most of the people are?
Absolutely.
So if you're going to reach people who you don't see on a regular basis, people who don't look like you, people who may not come to church, people who may not see church, social media is the place. And guess what? It's free. You got to pay for 100 flyers to be printed at Staples. You got to pay for those. You got to pay for those cards. As a matter of fact, guess what? You got to gather a team of 20 or so people to do the outreach. You got to tell Deacon Joe, listen, Deacon Joe, meet me at the church at 11 a.m. But with social media, it's just say, hey, listen, get one of the teenagers, post this flyer at 6 o'clock. And here's the caption, copy and paste it in there and let that thing roll. As opposed to gathering all of these people. And that's wonderful. You can still do that. But I think we're working so hard and we can be working smarter in doing outreach and using media to perfect it.
Absolutely.
And then I'll add to what Minister Tavell is saying. If we're going to do outreach on social media, we have to ensure that it's strategically done. So we can do outreach on Facebook, on Instagram, but we're going to also have to invest in that. So you're going to have to invest. You're going to have to pay for the ads. You may have to pay for some ads to run so that you can reach more people than just your targeted group or just your targeted church members. So paying for those ads and things of that nature on social media, you can reach so many different levels of people, even across this nation. You can just have them tuning in. They can be partners of your ministry. As a lot of these churches are using now, join and be a partner of our ministry. But it's all about being strategically when you're doing an outreach. Those people who have older churches, I say yes, go out there. Don't eliminate that, but add to it. Pay for those ads. Get them ads out there. Get them ads going. And then when you're doing outreach, make sure there's some visual to it. Make sure there's a video of someone talking. Because that's what draws people. That's what draws people to what you're doing. That's what draws people to bring it in and generate income. People want to see what you're doing. People want to see it. If they don't see it, listen, it's not going to happen.
Absolutely.
It's pointless.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump in, and I may be it may not be always best, but I'm gonna say this. I agree with what you guys are saying. What I disagree is we use social media as our crutch. Like we use that as our answer to everything. And for me, I feel like every church don't need a social media page right away because they're not doing the legwork to actually put together a good product. Absolutely. At the end of the day, we want to be spiritual, but it is a product. What are you giving these people? So you can have a bombing flyer. You can pay us to create some amazing videos, and then we get there, and it's like, what is this? So it leaves a sour taste in people's mouth. So now your social media page is so just, I can't trust your page. That's my.
Now that's true, because I've been to some places, and I was like,
my opinion. The page is needed. Social media can enhance what you have. It can be a powerful weapon, but it can also be a dangerous weapon if you don't know what you're doing. And a lot of times I see it even working where I work now. We're trying to learn social media just a little bit more. Like I can do it on my own personal page, but for a ministry, what does that look for them? And I've learned just posting just flyers all the time. That's not what everybody want to see. Like Latricia said, they want to see the content, what happened in that event, and it moves so far because if I see visually that thing was lit, next time y'all post something, I am there.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, you have to make sure your foundation is there before you switch over to advertising.
If I can say this, and I see this often, and it really bothers me, churches only market their pastor. It really bothers me because your church is more than your pastor. If the NBA only marketed LeBron James because he's the best player in the NBA, what would the NBA really be? If you got Dame Dollar, you got Damian Lillard, you got Stephen Curry, you got all these other players that really make what the NBA is. Now, that might be a shining star there, but there's more to what you have to offer. And so, especially in this day where people are looking more for what a church can bring for their family, for their children, for their marriage, what's the singing like? What's the environment like? What do the people look like in the church? Do you got some friendly looking people?
Yeah.
All those different things I think add to the experience for social media. But if all you're doing is posting your pastor's quotes, your pastor's video, if all we see in clips are your pastor, if all we see in the intro is your pastor, you're missing it. And you're not getting the full experience of the totality of your church. You're making it feel like that's all you got. But if there's more, then we can really get a glimpse of that experience. Like, I want to go there because they have something for my child. I want to go there because she can sing, and I want to hear her sing in the morning. All those different things I think churches have to take into account.
All of it, like really the move of God at the end of the day, like really capturing that moment where you can see breakthroughs, whether it's a testimony video or it's the children worshiping in children's church, because the world now, we want where our whole family can be involved. Mm-hmm. So I definitely agree with that 100%.
Yeah, having balance, showing everyone, showing each person working, each youth, showing the youth ministry, showing, it's definitely necessary. Not just showing just the pastor, the head, he's the only brand or she's the only brand. Want to make sure that you're showing each ministry, the women's ministry, the men's ministry, even if you got deacons still, the deacons. Amen.
One thing I learned in this season during the whole quarantine, the ministries that got the most traction were the one that captured them passing out food, them doing stuff in the community that really helped because it gave a breath of fresh air, because people were looking for, like, where is the church right now? It was such a breath of fresh air, and we were bombarded with news and then church service. So then it's like after Sunday, like, what are y'all doing throughout the week? So a lot of ministries that capture the moments. Thumbs up to y'all.
Well, that was that.
Most jobs up.
And so we're going to actually transition. And so we're going to talk a little bit about how to utilize that term, everything outside. And so, why is it important to have a brand? Why do you guys think that it's important? Out his comments here. I just want to get a sense of what you guys think about branding.
Was it me or was there an echo?
Yeah, that was an echo. Say that one more time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So the question is about branding. So, people always say that or feel that branding is like more like a business term, business terminology. But what place does it have in the church? Do you think it belongs in the church? And if so, what does that look like?
Okay, I'll go because this is my thing.
Branding queen.
But first of all, she has to go. She's the branding queen, y'all. The branding queen. She can brand something.
Brand guru.
Brand guru, teach us.
I always, because I'm a creative, and I believe God was the ultimate creative. When you go to Genesis 1, I have to go to this. when he created the heavens and earths, he created everything around him. He always checked to make sure it was good, right? He said, this is good. Let me go to the next thing. But when it comes to ministry, um, we have to make sure that our branding perspective is good before we put it out there, whether it's ministry, whether it's business. We have to make sure that our branding aspect is good before we display it to the world. We have to make sure that it's organized. We have to make sure that it's clean. We have to make sure that it's consistent. We have to make sure that we know the colors of our church. We have to make sure that we know the font styles and things of that nature to use of the church, so that we're not all over the place. If you're going to have somebody build your brand or touch your brand, even if you have a media ministry and they don't understand what hue codes are, they don't understand what hex codes are, they don't understand those things, they're going to have to go on YouTube and learn some stuff so that we can make sure that when it comes to the branding of our church, that it's clean, consistent, and cohesive. When those three things are those three C's, those are the three powerful C's that I use: clean, consistent, and cohesive. When you have those things locked and aligned, your ministry can grow, and it can grow greatly and mightily. I always use, and I tend to stay away from it, but one consistent church that I've noticed, I'm not even gonna mention the church, but it's one church out here that is very consistent, it's clean, and you see the church growing in numbers amongst millennials, because millennials, our generation, want something new and exciting and clean. Like if we see it clean and we see it organized and we see it's popping, they want that. That's what attracts to them. How are your colors attracting to them? When you think about McDonald's, you see the big M, it's automatically going to attract to a 5-year-old, because they know what it is. They know what the M is. They know what it stands for. If your logo and your branding is all over the place and you got big font here, little font there, and it just doesn't look good, who's going to be attracted to your ministry, right? So you just want to make sure. I can go on, y'all. I can talk about this all day, but branding is definitely necessary, because the church is ultimately a business. So if you're starting a business and you don't have an EIN number as a church, well, what are you doing? You just have a title as a pastor or a minister and you don't have the business in order. You got to make sure all that stuff is aligned, or it's just going to fail. It's not going to grow. Branding is growth. It takes seasons and seasons for it to grow. But if you start off with it clean, cohesive, and consistent, it will grow. I promise y'all, it will grow.
I want to say this. I definitely agree with everything she's sharing, because it's really the new wave. You do have to brand your church. And I'll name a church. One church that I think has been someone to look at, and to, if you don't know what to do, you can look at them and figure it out, is Pastor Jamal Bryant in New Birth. They've been jamming out. And as it pertains to branding, being consistent in what they do, and having a pattern behind it, so that when you see them, you know that's Pastor Jamal Bryant and New Birth. Not who are we this week? What we don't know what we're gonna get out of you. You had a logo last month, they got a new logo. Your colors last year was red and gold, but now it's purple and yellow. So there has to be some set things that you put in place, because it helps with your marketing scheme. It helps with how people perceive what you are. It goes along with what, in business, your brand is good for your customers to understand what you're providing. But in church, it's good for those who are new members. They know, okay, this is my church. This is what we look like. So then it does help those who are like ourselves, who are designers, who are doing video, who are doing photography, because we have something to fall in line with. So if you do switch it up, if you get somebody else who's new to doing your flyers, they still have something to look at, because you have a consistent brand identity. Your image is still the same.
Brand identity.
Anything up. So, I'm big on fonts. Some churches want bold fonts. Some churches like the cursive font. Some churches like real different, cool, and crazy looking fonts. Whatever the case may be, let me know exactly what you like. So when I give it to you, I'm giving off the vision that you have for your church. If your church is a church that likes purple, in a lot of your flyers, you're going to see purple because you told me that's your color. So you're not going to see red, you're going to see purple because that's a part of your color, as opposed to me doing something totally different. I even think it goes on down to the ministries. Your brand should be in your men's ministry. Your brand should be in your youth ministry. It should be in your music ministry. Your ministry should not look different than your church. You should be able to see that within them. It goes all the way down so that when it comes to the marketing of the entire church, you still look like the main brand.
Yep. That's
and
good.
I'll chime in. I'm the video guy, so I really don't work with flyers and all that stuff. But it helps. When he hit it on the head, like it helps with vision. It helps people understand who you are. And a lot of times we get, and we all got this, it's make it happen. It's like, so who are you? How can I help you? I can't create you. I have to help you, help push what you want. And if you don't have vision, I mean, you don't have brand. And it looks like that in your flyers, in your videos, and everything you push out, because you ain't got no brand.
Oh yeah, it definitely will show. It absolutely will show. And so let's talk graphics. Let's talk graphics for a moment. I don't want to lose you. We're gonna talk graphics just for a few minutes.
Ron know a little bit about graphics.
He know about graphics. And we talk about video editing. So what are some pet peeves as it relates to graphics, photography, and videography? Since everybody kind of flows under those categories. Maybe what is your worst experience? Share experience that maybe could be a teachable moment for someone who's listening. So I'm gonna let who wants to take a jab at that first. It looks like Ron. Is it you?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
Okay. The first jab, and I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna let us go around. The first jab is to anyone in leadership, whether you are a minister, whether you are a pastor, apostle, a bishop, any leader, anyone who is going to be seen on a flyer, find a nice photographer. It's a couple of us on here. It's from across the city of Chicago. I promise we got good specials. If you just need a headshot.
My big bro Paul. Paul Harris.
We
Let them use you.
Seeing this right here.
Let them use you. Let them use you.
No way.
We tired of seeing that. We tired of seeing we tired of seeing the selfies. And you can't expect us to work magic with your selfies when your arm is cut off and your neck is halfway crooked. Yeah. And you want us to turn you around your body. We can do it, but you ain't gonna look right. So we want to make sure that you look good. We want to make sure you get you some nice professional photos, y'all. Get some professional photos. Some of us are not that expensive. You have those high-end photographers who do big-time media people, but there's some people who are willing to work with you and work with your budget. Get some nice headshots and get some full body. Even if you gotta get a stylist, you don't feel comfortable. Makeup artist, listen. We connected. Connect with one of the inboxes. I can connect you with some people to get you together. But y'all, no more selfies.
Please.
You send me a selfie, I'm putting you in a circle.
In a circle.
I promise you, I'm putting you in a circle.
And this is
that picture in a circle.
These bottom says no selfies. All right. Anybody else?
You had something wrong.
I got something.
Go ahead.
Okay, since we're throwing jabs.
They're not jabs.
Time frame, people. Time frame. We have lives.
Yeah.
We love to use our creativity to our fullness. But I am a quick editor. But 45 seconds or less than 24 hours, like you are going to get 24 hours type of work. And if you really want a polished product where we can sit there and we can look at it and perfect it and push it out to where it's amazing. Because one thing that irritates me is we push it out, and then 30 minutes later, you call me saying, hey, something's messed up. So now we push it out to social media. Everybody saw it. Everybody saw the mistake. Then we take it down. Then we got to figure out how to relaunch it. Give us time, y'all. Give us time.
We want to walk. We want to look at it and walk away and come back to it every once in a while, right?
Come back.
Yeah, before Jesus was finished in Genesis, he said, "Let's make sure it's good first before we put out the excellent."
What did he say?
Excellent.
So numbers are gonna be up. Excellent.
Excellent.
And perfect. And then these are the same people that will call you 2 minutes into it. How's it going?
How is it going?
Yeah.
It just got posted. Like,
you just sent me the email.
Just text me. You
just texted me. Like, really?
I'm about to run into my television. You talking good tonight?
Yeah.
Tavell, you got one?
I definitely agree with them. I'm definitely with the selfies. I'm definitely with the timing of things, because I honestly hate when people expect me to give something to them. If I say 3 days, then I mean 3 days.
Yes.
So don't think 2 days. Don't think 1 day. If I say 24 hours, I mean 20, not 19. Not just because it's tomorrow, but legitimately 24 hours. But I guess for me, it's just knowing what you want. And typically I have this issue with people who look like us, who really don't know what they want at all. And you ask them, you say, okay, hey, send me your colors, send me your pictures. If you got some things, hey, some people have sent me flyers, say, hey, I like this look. Okay, that's cool. But when you don't know what you want, and then I present something to you because you didn't know what you wanted, and then you get mad, like, that's not what I wanted. Well, when I first went to you to create this, I asked, I said, hey, what do you want?
Yeah, what's your vision?
What's your vision? I want to make it pop. At the end of the day, I'm gonna just give you what I think looks nice, or what capture the image behind this. But if that's not what you wanted, then you should have told me from the beginning.
So I'm not going back. Y'all, let me say something. I work with so many people. Go ahead, finish right.
No, I'm not going. It's going to be used for something else, though. I will say that. I'm going to use it.
Oh, yes. It's going to be used for something else. But to add in on it, another pet peeve I have, I'm a creative, and I love creating something fresh and new.
Mm-hmm.
A pet peeve of mine is, I saw them do this. And it's like, yeah, you saw them do this because they were looking for this. You're not looking for that. Getting back to, what is your vision? What do you want? Let's create something that's beneficial for you, not because Transformation did this or McDonald's did this.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want? What do you need? Know exactly what you want and need, and it will be so amazing, whether it's for marketing wise or even the media team at your church. Why are we doing this? What is the purpose? And knowing what the outcome is going to be coming from that.
Yeah, definitely. And for me, if they don't have the vision, they say, hey, I'm putting it in your creative hands. I tell them to give me some time so I can seek God. I see God in a lot of products that I do, a lot of logos that I do. And I always tell my clients, if God didn't give me a vision yet, I'm not going to work on your stuff. I'm not going to touch it. Once God give me that vision to go, I move forward. If you don't give me a vision, and until God rested in my spirit and say, hey, put this color together, combine this, design like this, cut it like this. And then they be like, oh my God, you got it. I want them to say, I love it. And I don't want to have to change it 15 times because what's the scripture? We perish for a lack of knowledge. We don't have no vision. If you don't have no vision to start with, you want to put it in my hands, that means I got to go to the Lord on your behalf. And I got to see prophetically how to actually implement this so that I don't get a headache behind this vision. You not having a vision. So I literally have to, when it comes to certain stuff, I do a lot of logos, you guys. That's one of my main things. I have some clients that don't really have a vision. And if I do it like change it like 5 or 6 times, I say, hey, listen, I may not be the creator for you. So this is what I'm going to do. I typically don't allow refunds, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to refund you your money so that you can find the proper person for this design. Because I don't want to leave a sour taste in anybody's mouth if you truly don't know what direction you're trying to go in with your business or whatever you have going on. So it's always best to have integrity and be honest. Because I can get it sometimes, but sometimes I may not be the creator for you.
Yeah.
About.
That's true.
And I want to say this. I want to say this as well. And I love working with people in their budget. Because I mean, I love ministry, especially when it pertains to ministry. I love helping people in creating the things that they need. But don't try to get over.
Yeah.
Don't give me the doc. You gonna help me out, doc?
Yeah.
Don't do all that kind of stuff. Don't try to play me out here. Like listen. Let's be fair, because at the end of the day, I'm giving you a service, and so because of that, there is a fee. There is something that I'm hoping to get back in return for what I provide. I'm not trying to do this for free. I'm not trying to do it dirt cheap. But at the end of the day, you can be honest with your budget, but just don't try to get over. Don't try to mess me over. Don't listen. Let's be real. Let's treat this like this is business. Let's treat this like this is a transaction so that I can get you what you need and that you can provide me what I need in return as well. So that there is no miscommunication. There's no bad feelings between us, but we can actually say we did business. And I think some churches I've had that happen. Honestly, that happened to me in the very beginning. I guess they felt because I was new to this that they can get over on me.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm just like, hey, from the get-go, this is what is expected, and this is what I'll provide you with. And I think some churches need to definitely move forward with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
I agree 100% with that.
Absolutely. Everybody gave some great points, so I don't even have to add on that. Y'all touched everything that I wouldn't even say it, right? So so we're gonna go ahead and wrap up. So, but one of the last questions that I want to kind of talk about is, what do you suggest to someone, whether it's a church or it's someone who's starting a business? What do you suggest they do if they don't have currently have a social media presence or a full team of experts? What do you think that they should do to jumpstart whatever it is that they're pursuing? I feel like Ron kind of started this off, but yeah.
Oh well, my first joke is hire one of us, but
Yeah.
That is not a joke.
Yeah, that's a good option. That's a good one.
For churches, I would say definitely you can hire somebody in, but know that bringing them in to train your people. It's just like bringing in a worship leader, bringing in a minister of music, help them. They have to have your vision and bring them in. The plus side about churches, you have an amazing youth ministry. Most people have some teens, whether it's 1 or 2, that can pick up real quick. Real quick. Businesses are a little bit different. I feel like you should just invest in what you need. Hire a company to take care of that while you focus on your products and focus on your business. Don't have to worry about advertisement. But churches, just use what you have within and then do some research. YouTube University is powerful. It's a powerful tool.
Man, I wish I would have got. University. That's more important. In school. I'll go. In terms of hold on the mute. Okay. In terms of building your business or your ministry, prioritize yourself. You do not have to rush to put stuff out there. Do not rush and half do anything. Stop rushing and putting these business out there and it's half done. It's half baked. It's undercooked. I'm tired of these undercooked businesses, these these raw ministries. The blood is dripping out. It's not organized. It just looks a mess. You don't have to rush. You can start small and then build big, right? I have a business that started in 2016. During that time I was working on. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't. I just knew that the Lord said I was going to have a business, and I went out there and did it. But I started with a plan. I had a business plan. I was organized. I said I was going to make $2,000 that year, and I made $4,000. To God be the glory. But I had a plan in place. Once you put your plan in place, you make sure that you're organized and you're not just rushing to put something out there. It makes things a lot less hectic, a lot less rush. You won't have to change a logo 15,000 times. Even if you don't have a logo, just do a cursive signature. Go on Canva, create your cursive signature, but make sure it's clean. If it's clean, you put it out there and it looks good. It will make Ron. Okay, yeah, Ron don't like.
I'm tired of Canva. I'm so sick of that. Sick of it.
You gotta give some people some options, okay? If they don't have
That's all they got.
No,
you gotta get them.
They will come to us and say, "I can make this on Canva." No, you cannot.
Okay. Hire a professional that's within your budget. A lot of us are budget friendly. A lot of us are budget friendly. If just don't put anything out there. And I've been seeing that a lot. Just rushed. Everybody want to rush and put, like, I want to be the first to do it. I want to be the first to have this lip gloss line. I want to be the first to have this new Bible. This black Bible. I want to be the first to put it out there. But if you don't rush. Don't. Like, I just seen somebody post a book, and it had the 1, 2, 3 R. Y'all know the 1, 2, 3 R that's on Google. It had that image. It had the emblem on top of the image that they had on their book cover.
Oh, no,
I'm gonna show y'all.
I got to go look.
Well, we'll discuss this.
And this is a big ministry person. So just to say I'm doing something new, people are rushing to put something out there. I'm not gonna do that. Just because I have, you're not gonna always have something going on in business. Just stick with what you know, slow down, and don't push it out there. Okay. That was no Ryan Shelton. Clean, consistent, cohesive. Y'all learning something. Hallelujah.
That's
and y'all. I see everybody who mentioned my name. I love y'all with the love of Christ. Amen.
That was your shout out. Well, yeah, be like London. Don't make your first flyer and publish it.
Please, whoa, no, higher, y'all. And seriously, in all seriousness, when it comes to your branding, find you a good graphic artist. A good
videographer. We open it to editors.
Great videographer, great photographer. Because Ron is cold with the videography.
Oh,
he's calling me for it, but I'd be like, yeah, I don't feel like doing it this time. You go to him. But I'm basic. I'm real basic, clean cut. But gotta make sure. Just make sure you're just not rushing. It's necessary.
Absolutely.
I want to add that I think, like we mentioned, branding, you want to think, how can I really establish my image? So if you really haven't been posting or using it like that, and you're starting out as your business or your ministry, how can I establish my voice on there so that when I do post, people want to see it and people recognize me? So I think it can even be a launching plan. Like, this week I'm going to share this, and it's going to lead to what I'm going to share next week. And what I share this week is going to lead up to maybe the big share, whatever I'm sharing on a major scale for that following week. So there's kind of a plan and a timeline to what you're doing. So you're not just sharing sporadically. You're not just posting anything, but there's a method to the madness in a sense. So that you're not just posting anything. So you're not just posting something that's a stock photo and has the watermark still on there. But
I need this book.
But there's a plan to it, so that when you do put it out there, it really pops. So maybe the first thing you do put out is a picture, and maybe the next thing you put out is a video you talking about the book. Maybe the next thing you put out is a testimonial of someone saying, I read the book. Then you might get someone who's a celebrity and they have a quote and their picture with your book there, and there's something about it. But so it's not just everything at once. And now nobody has a chance to really focus on one thing, because you put all of it out there at the same time, and none of it looks like it was put together well. It was rushed.
Yeah.
So you definitely want to have a plan in place, so that it can pop and you can get the best out of what you're trying to do on social media.
Absolutely.
And again, we all can help you with the plan. Hire one of us in the square.
No, all right, so speaking of one of us, can you guys believe that we've been on here for almost an hour?
Wow.
No.
It's been fun.
And so what I want to do is I want to make a couple announcements, and I want to give these guys the opportunity to kind of tell you or kind of reiterate what their businesses are. So I just want to thank you guys. First, thank my panel. Thank you guys so much for accepting the invitation to come on. And I really hope that folks really got something from this, because we talked about some amazing topics that could really help if folks actually take it and use it. It's one thing to get the information, then it's one thing to actually act upon it. So actually,
I just keep carrying up stuff.
Ron,
That's your house.
I'm sleepy. I have been up since 5 o'clock in the morning.
Me too.
Just threw me all the way off. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Just two quick announcements. Tomorrow we will be passing out food at our church, 5146 South Ashland Avenue, 60609. We're going to be doing that from 10 to 12. Again, if you know anyone who is in need of food, we'll be giving out 5 days worth of meals. All you have to do is just show up and let us know, and we'll be glad to service you. Again, that's tomorrow from 10 to 12, 5146 South Ashland. The flyer will be posted as soon as this live concludes. Also, we will see you guys on Sunday. We will have service on live this Sunday with Pastor Karen. So be sure to log in and tune in for those two things. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and let folks know how they can follow you and get more information about your businesses. I'm actually launching, or I've kind of been doing my business, J Mack Design. So you can kind of reach out to me for flyers and some other things, just, in my. So, but yeah, you guys can go ahead and take it away.
I'll go first then. Like I said, the name of my business is Access Granted. And so if you want any information about my business, you can go to accessgrantedmedia.com or email me at agrantedllc@gmail.com. But I do flyers. I do a lot of video as well, primarily for churches now. So as far as their streams, so if you're looking to have some 4K footage, some lighting that you need, knowing how to put the sound through the camera so that your streaming sounds good, you can reach out to me, and I'll be glad to help you out.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. I am Lunden Graphics and Photography. I also offer videography services for most of my events, weddings and things of that nature. You can find me at www.loondesignsphoto.com. You can follow me on all social media platforms. I am on Facebook at Latricia London. My first name, Instagram, first and last name, Latricia London. Instagram, Lunden Graphics, and Instagram, London Photography. I'm all over social media, you guys. I'm easy to find if you're looking for me. My Facebook, my personal Facebook is at 5,000. I delete people every day. Those who get on my nerves. I'm just being honest. No, the people who don't really interact on social media, I will remove them. Just inbox me if you want to be my friend on my personal page. I will remove somebody to add you on. Amen. That's what I do. I build brands for people across the United States of America. So I'm not just in Chicago or Indiana. I am in 40 out of the 50 states I've shipped to. Glory to God. Amen. And I have hit international this year in London. So I have 2 clients in London. So I'm proud of that. Those are great moments for me. Amen. And that's it. That's it. One tip I can give you guys before I close out: use hashtags. Hashtags will change the change your reach and elevate your reach when it comes to business. And that's it.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'm last. I'm Ronald Moore. My company is Create Agency. Okay. Yeah. So my company is Create Agency. Right now we are relaunching everything, redeveloping our whole brand. So if you want to get in contact with me, you'll just go to my Facebook page, Ronald Moore Jr., or my Instagram, which is Got to Be Ron. So got the number 2 B_Ron. My company, we do promotional videos, music videos. We work with churches. Pretty much the content that you need to push your reach, we can definitely do it and give a nice creative twist to it.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you guys so much for joining me, and thank you guys to our audience for watching. Have a great remainder of the week, and we will talk to you guys soon. All right. Peace out.